I'm gonna put my hair up in this video because even though I've recorded 3 videos nonstop back to back to back, I am going to at least differentiate it, not just by lights, but by my hairstyle. If you have not watched Nope, don't watch this video. I may be getting into some spoilers. It's not gonna be a crazy long video or anything, but I just have to get this off of my chest. A couple people that I have talked to about this have recommended that I make a video on this, and fuck it, I'm gonna do it. If I'm not the first one to do it, I don't care. I still wanna talk about it. Nope is Jaws in the sky. That makes no sense. There's no shark. There's no— Shut the fuck up. Let me explain. One of Jordan Peele's favorite films is Jaws. And coincidentally, Nope is also a Universal picture, but I believe that's more of a coincidence. And what stretches coincidence to homage is the actual things that happen in Nope. I'll start by saying that the story, at least, very similar. You start with an inciting incident of some innocent bystander just getting fucking murked. You got the lady swimming in the water getting attacked by a shark, and you got the father on a horse just struck in the head by a quarter. Why are these bad things happening out of nowhere? We have no idea what's doing it, except in Jaws we know it's a shark. But nobody else knows. And bad shit's just happening from the get-go. And I'm just gonna fast forward into Nope, even though there will be spoilers, because it's not really all this build-up that is similar to Jaws. It's certain things that happen, including some build-up, just not like conversation pieces or anything. Let's just get into the UFO itself, because that's definitely one of the biggest points here. So again, spoiler warning if you don't know. Nope is a movie about a UFO, but not aliens, because there are no aliens. So what's the UFO? A giant living being. The UFO is the alien. The trailers and stuff try to make you think, oh, okay, there's aliens pilot. No, this UFO is a thing. It's a giant beast, like another giant beast that we know. And this giant beast is just stalking, lurking in the shadows, off camera a lot, and feeding not because it is malicious and evil, but because it's what it does naturally. And while I mentioned that, that's another thing I want to say is just like the camera angles and the perspectives, because you get into a part where you know the UFO's around, you don't see it, and the camera's kind of following this fin of sorts. One minute you're following OJ riding horseback running away from the thing, and then the camera just points to the sky and bloop, you see just a tiny sliver of that giant ass UFO go from cloud to cloud. You don't see anything else, you just know that it's there. The musical build-up and everything as well, it's very reminiscent of Jaws. Even when it attacks, it leaves trails. So in the movie, a statue of a horse with some flags wrapped around it gets sucked up thinking it's food, and now you can see that there's a little flag hanging out of a cloud, and you can kind of see that flag follow it for a while, kind of like the barrels in Jaws. Or any time that you have seen the shark move around and they couldn't actually get the shark animatronic to work and they used something else, like the raft scene specifically, probably is more reminiscent of those little flags hanging from the cloud. The barrels, however, is towards the end or climax of the film, when you have these wavy inflatable tube men, and you can't see the UFO, and neither can they, only through the wavy tube men, like the barrel. They are tracking this giant beast through very smart means of not showing it on camera, but showing how it affects other things. It is dragging this electrical, magnetic charge, whatever you want to call it, and just making itself known while not trying to do anything at all. Metaphorically, it was shot with a barrel, like Quint. And I thought that was really cool. Probably the other really, really big thing is that this giant beast dies in a giant explosion, kind of like a little beast that I know that dies in an explosion in a very popular film as well. You also, for the most part, have like a character that's just extremely greedy and does things for money, although not outright similar. Jupiter and the mayor from Jaws are very similar in the way that they monetize and profit off of the shark, or just try to ignore it entirely. Jupiter ignores it a little less, but you know. And Jupiter eventually has to eat his words, kind of like the mayor, but the mayor survives and Jupiter, But you got 2 characters that are about greed, very similar from different movies, and then you also have your main cast, which is about 3. And although nobody is exactly similar to each other from both movies, like there's no Quint and there's no Brody and there's no nothing, there are similar things that happen, such as, the guy from the IT store, computer store stuff service. He is about to die, but he is miraculously kept alive. He survives by playing it fairly smart, but also just by luck. Kinda like Hooper in The Cage, because Hooper was originally supposed to die, and things change, and somehow he survives, not just by, you know, surviving, but by luck. And I couldn't help but notice these things while I was watching Nope, and as to why I liked it so much. But before anybody goes, oh, so Nope is ripping off Jaws, no. I would like to say that this is the perfect example of an homage. This movie is not a carbon copy of Jaws, but this movie takes so many beats from Jaws and makes it its own thing that you can tell it's not a copy and paste. This is a love letter. Nope is a love letter to Jaws in so many ways. Funny enough, even the title is just a 4-letter word. But you might say, oh, you're reaching, oh, you're thinking way too into it. I mean, I could be, but that's the whole point of a theory, isn't it? And once you start seeing these things, you can't unsee them, and it's kind of like, well, that's interesting. It's interesting to think about, and it's interesting that it even could exist in a possibility. But hey, we know that Jordan Peele loves Jaws so much, and I would not be surprised if Nope was his Jaws. From directing and cinematography things to, like, you know, music build-up and themes and whatever. It, you know, it's all there. And it's definitely not a ripoff either, because there's so many things in Nope that stand out just to itself. If Jaws made people afraid of the water, Nope makes people afraid of clouds in the sky. I can't look at the sky anymore and be like, oh, clouds, you know, or I wouldn't even notice them. Now when I look up at the sky, I'm like, why is that cloud not moving? And no, I'm not scared of clouds now. Jaws never even made me scared of sharks. It's the reason I love sharks today. But it's just one of those things where it's like, you did your job and you did it very well. Because now I think that cloud is watching me. So I already made a little quickie thingy video before this one about Nope, and I'm gonna say it again. Go watch and support Nope. Jordan Peele's doing amazing stuff. I'm so happy. He's literally crawling on my list to from top 10 directors to top 5, potentially top 3. He's very good at what he does, and he gives a lot of shits about the stuff that he does too. But hey, do you think Nope is like Jaws? Do you think maybe there's an influence? Do you think I'm crazy and I'm just thinking into it? Let me know down below. I noticed some things, and maybe you will too. Maybe you'll notice things that I haven't noticed. That's going to be everything for this video. It's a little bit of a different one, and it's more special. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Watch out for those clouds, by the way. Just want to let y'all know.